Good morning, everyone. My name is Kathy. I'm in my mid-70s, and I'm here today to give you a little bit more of a lengthy tutorial on what I now do for my skincare and my makeup routine. I will tell you that in the past, I wore heavier makeup. I've noticed over the last 6 months, I have changed the way that I wear makeup, and I want to share that with you. Because for some of you, if you're retired, you're home all the time, you're not really want to be being focused on contouring and highlighting and all of those different things. So I'm going to show you what I'm now currently doing. I am a stay-at-home retiree. I do occasionally work on my computer doing some remote work for the health system, but for the most part, I'm retired. I teach on social media, mature skin, habits as far as makeup, as far as skincare, and I might give you some other tips and tricks along the way. But my days of having a lot of things are in the past. I'm trying to move towards the minimalization aspect of my life because I realize it's just a lot of work to keep track of a lot of things. And so my husband, who's now passed, would be so proud of me because I think he thought I'd never get to this point. But I think we all get to a point in our life when enough is enough. And I look at my friends who are still, many of them still working, look absolutely beautiful because everything is coordinated. Their clothing is coordinated with maybe their glasses or with a headband, and they just look totally pulled together. I want you to know that would have been me too in my working years, but now not so much. I have pared down my closet 3 times since I have retired, and now I keep more basics. So what you're seeing here with a sweater, of course, a turtleneck, it's in the dead of winter while this is being filmed. And so because of that, I have a tendency to add color with my jewelry. I have a big collection of jewelry, and my jewelry I have not pared down yet. But see, I'm going to add a pop of color with these turquoise and silver jewelry. Even though I don't have turquoise anywhere else, I know it goes well with this color of brown. And so that's kind of where we're going to go today. I'm going to show you minimal, and minimal is best if you're mature. As I've said before, I'm in my mid-70s. And so if I'm going to have coffee with somebody and they're looking at me, I don't want them to think, gosh, she really applied her makeup well. To me, that would not be a compliment. But if she says, wow, you really look good today, that's a compliment because it's an overall look. So I'm going to prepare my skin. Now, I want you to know I switched about 7 or 8 months ago. Actually, it was about the time that I started becoming more of a minimalist. I started I changed my skincare completely. I had a structured routine before that I had it printed out on a spreadsheet because I couldn't remember what to do next. It was complicated. It included retinol. I thought I had never used retinol before in my life. I'm going to spray this on so it'll dry. Then I'll tell you what that is. I had never used retinol before in my life. All of a sudden, when I started using it, I couldn't believe how much brighter it made my face. I added in vitamin C as a separate step. That improved as well. But over time, then I started to have issues of dry, patchy, flaky skin. Little did I know that all of those products that I was using before removed the skin barrier, the moisture barrier. I was really dealing with some issues. I was watching friends of mine on social media who were using a Korean skincare that comes from Korea, made in Korea, grown in Korea. Okay, I was watching videos and I was seeing unbelievable transformation on their skin weekly. I mean, I could see it. I could visibly see it. It's the same thing people are telling about me as they're watching my videos from a year ago to a video today. They can see it. I can see it. And when you can see it on yourself, that's pretty big. But I decided, okay, I'm going to try it. They had little trial bags. I started with, it's called a Try Me kit. And right now they're out of stock. But they are reformulating and repackaging some things. As soon as they're back, I'll let you know. The reason I did that, it's a $100 kit. I wanted to be able to try all the products and see whether if the hype was really true. Because when you're in your mid-70s, you're beginning to think, is anything going to work except laser and plastic surgery and all the other things that go along with it? So I tried it for 30 days and I saw a difference within a week because I did befores and after photos, which I encourage everyone to do. And then after 30 days, I was just totally blown away. The lines around my eyes were diminished. That doesn't mean it went away. Trust me, we're not going back to 20 and 30. I wish, but we're not going back to that. It's not going to happen. But they have lessened the age spots on my face, have all but disappeared. I mean, I have a few of them, but trust me, I had some bigger ones and they were getting darker and they've just faded because of the skincare. I know it is. Let me tell you something. I will include my Riman link for you because I do now represent the Riman company because I totally believe in this. I can now have more of an emphasis on skincare than I do makeup and look better than I ever did before. So we're really repairing from the base up. And we want to make sure that as you're going into your mature years, you have something. Nothing in this line compares to what I used before. Nothing. Everything else that I used was talking about peeling and exfoliating and all of that. Let me tell you, you're going to use this. It's the most gentle product you've ever put on your face, and you're going to get the best results ever. So I will put my link below. Do not do a Google search for it and do not try to find it on Amazon. Our products are not sold there. What you may get is fake products, even products that are in containers that look like ours that are not ours. We cannot guarantee what's in your product. So shop through the links. I appreciate supporting me, but at the same time, I want to make sure that you are getting the most for your money. And the other thing is every time you shop through the official Riman link, you build credit. And so you get credit back. It's called Riman dollars. So it's really kind of like a little savings plan. There are times that I don't have to pay for something. So win-win, especially when you're retired. Okay, I did my complete ritual this morning, and I call it a ritual because that's what it is. It is a step-by-step process. It's soothing. It's wonderful. I massage my face in the morning. It is totally amazing. I put my moisturizer on, which we call the dermatology cream, and it stays on for about 10 to 15 minutes before I put my makeup on. And then I come to my makeup table and I put this setting spray on. It's a beautiful setting spray, and you might think, well, don't you set at the end? Actually, you do it both. And it will set your makeup for the day, and you will experience the best look ever. Now let's talk about makeup a little bit. In the past, you have seen my videos where I've talked about contouring and highlighting and doing the dots and the stripes. I'm getting over that. I feel we have kind of made our makeup routines so difficult, you feel like you have to have a master's degree to put your makeup on. And let me tell you, in your 70s and beyond, or even in your 60s, it should be easier. It should not be harder. So I'm going to show you what I do and how I add some color, because really right now that's what I need. When I look in the mirror, there's no question I have some darkness here, and I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation still, not near as much as I used to. But when you really look at me, the age spots that I'd had before are not there. And so it's minimal product now. It's now trying to level out the playing field. Let's get rid of some of those things and let's get them down to a base color. I'm going to do that with the Riman cushion. So this is also made by the skincare company that I like. And what I love about the cushion, that's what it's called, is that it has skincare infused in it. So every time I put this on, it's like putting another layer of skincare. I'm going to use my Pilot brush from Saint, and this is the way I'm going to pick product up like that. So you pick up the smallest amount first, and I'm just going to brush that in the areas where I feel like I need a little bit of color or even correction, okay? And what you see in a matter of seconds is how this warms to my skin, just like St. Creams do, okay? It's going to warm to my skin. Yes, you can go over your eyelids, and it gives you the most beautiful sheen and glow. For those of you who are my makeup minimalists, and my goodness, I've talked to you for years because I've been with Saint over 4 years now, and I've talked to you and you just said, I don't want to do all of those steps. I get it. It may have taken me a few years to get there, but you know what? I get it. Look at this. That is the cream, the cushion from Riman. Comes in this cute little compact. $55. You're going to get what's inside the compact, and then you get a refill. This is well more than 6 months for me because you saw how little I put on. Literally, that's what I put on. And for many people, that would be all they need. They don't even want anything else. They might put a little bit of blush on, they might put some mascara on, whatever, but that's all they need. Is that not the prettiest color ever? I mean, look at that. And as it dries down and as it settles, it just gets more and more gorgeous. Look at the luminosity. It is not shiny. I don't look like a disco ball. I don't look like I have an oil problem. It's just nice skin. And if you sat across from me having coffee, you would say, nice skin. Now, it teams beautifully with Saint Cream makeups. I have shared with you, as long as I've been with Saint, that nothing goes on your face and settles and complements your skin as much as creams. And that is so true. All creams are not created equal. Saint's creams cannot be used with silicone. So if you're using a moisturizer that has silicone as one of the top 3 ingredients and you're saying, it's just not working for me, it's not that the product isn't working for you. You've got the wrong moisturizer. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that. Saint creams and Riman pair beautifully together. Beautifully. I've been using them this entire time for the 6-7 months that I've been using it, and it's just totally amazing. All right, now I keep all of my creams in a big compact. You don't need this you don't need this size. I mean, these are all just my lip colors. I got a problem. And these are my eyeshadows. I do like to do eyeshadow. I don't do it near as dramatic as what I have done in the past. If I've got a special event, I will, but I don't need to. As I told you, on most days I'm home, so I'm not really going anywhere. So it's really up to you on how you move from this point. Now, I do like to, even on days when I'm not going anywhere, I'm just going to be really honest with you, I do like to take care of what I call the dark trough. And sometimes I have a little thing come on going, the dark trough, because I feel like I have that. I don't know if it's an age thing. I have no clue, but it's there. But the first thing I do always is my eyes. Now, most people will put some type of a barrier on their eyelid first, okay? You can do this with a cream shadow, which we have. It's called Tangled, and I have it in my palette. It's right here. It adds very little luminosity, but it adds a little bit of luminosity. On days when I want a lighter look, I go to this eye primer, and this is from Amazon. I've had this I have to throw it away and get a new one. It lasts so long, and I can use it almost every day. Now, as I tap that in, can you see that it's not getting into all those little creases? That's when you know you have a mature eyelid. So all of those lovely, my beautiful counterparts out there that are doing demos and they're doing the windshield wiper and this is the way you do it. Yeah, you can't do that when you have mature lids. I'm just letting you know, okay? It's not going to work. So once I have that on my lid, I take just a clean brush and I tap that all over my eyelid. So what this does is it moves that product into those skin folds so that they're all coated. And that's what you got to do. You've got to make sure. Eyeshadow on mature eyelids can be completely different. And here's what I mean about mature eyelids. It's the eyelid. I don't know whether you can see it on camera, but it's the eyelid that when you move it like this, the wrinkles just, the folds just stay there. Okay, that's when you know you've got a mature eyelid. I'm not talking even about hooded eyes, okay? Most of us have a hooded eye. I'm talking about all of the excess stuff that comes down here that comes along with aging. And it's gonna happen. I had kind of hoped it would pass me by, but it didn't. So for that reason, I'm gonna share with you how I get over that crinkly whatever. Okay, so I'm taking my Saint eyeshadow brush and I'm going to go into a pretty universal shade, and it's called Mama. It's right here. Now, Mama it's really a neutral shade. It's not cold, it's not cool, it's not warm. And what you saw me do is I tapped in there. Mine's in the corner, so I kind of have to work to get it, but you always tap off the excess, and then you go back to your lid and mimic that same motion, the tapping motion that you did with your primer. Look how pretty that is. If I wanted to do nothing else, I could so totally do that. Okay? Tap, tap, tap. Clean brush. If you've watched any of my videos doing eyeshadow tutorials, you know I have a clean brush that does not apply color. All it ever does is blend. Let me take a sip. It's a little early on Saturday morning, and I haven't had much to drink. Okay, now I'm gonna go into a darker shade, and this is just kind of in the pink family because I'm kind of going with what I've got on. I'm gonna tap it. This is the way we load the brush. Yeah, that's loading the brush. It's not digging. Okay, and here I'm gonna tap out a backward 7. And you're thinking, I can hardly see that. That's good. That's what I want. I do not want you to be able to see everything you do with one pass, okay? Let's do the other eye while I'm still in the tapping mode. Backward 7. And by now my brush has a little bit more pigment, so I don't need to go back in on that one twice. I clean in between times, and now I come back on very gently and just do a little bit of a swirl motion. Okay, my eyeshadow is almost done, just so you know. I'm going to take the small end of the eyeshadow brush. The Saint brushes are phenomenal, and their eyeshadow brush is great. All of our brushes are double-ended, so you can always use them, you know, for something else. But I'm going to pick up this really dark color, and let me make sure that I know which one I'm telling you. It is Lullaby. Sorry, I need my glasses. So this is Lullaby. So it's kind of in that pinkish tan, whatever family, but it's not grab you. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna load the brush. That's the way we load the brush. Tap off the excess, and all I want is a stripe. That's it. Do the same thing to the other side. I want a stripe. So you might say, what is she doing? I don't want to go around with a stripe on my eye. I don't either. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that brush. I clean it. I keep a cleaning tile in my palette, so that way it's just easy to clean as soon as I'm done. But now I'm going to go back to my fluffy side, and I'm going to take and I'm going to pat that in on both eyes. And now with this end, I'm just going to do gentle swirls. Gentle swirl, come back, make sure that I don't have any harsh lines where the color meets the rest of my skin, and we're done. Except for mascara, we're done. Now, if you want to put some type of a shimmer, because shimmer's big, if you want to put some kind of a shimmer, I normally do it with my finger. Pick up a little bit of your shimmer color and place it from the middle of your eye towards your nose. Be very careful that you don't move up on the eye, because that's where it's going to pick up the texture. So you've heard mature women shouldn't wear sparkle. Well, you can wear sparkle as long as it's strategically placed. So if I were to put this color, this sparkle, all over, it would really accentuate the texture of my eyelid. But because I'm controlling that with my finger, coming back with my clean brush, tapping it in, now I have a little bit of shimmer, okay? A little bit of brightness towards the center of my face. There we go. Now let's go back to the cream side. When I look at my face, there are things that I like to, what I would consider camouflage. And for the most part, it's this dark trough, right? I like to do a little bit of eye cleanup out here, and it lifts my face at the same time. And I want to keep this bright. Do you see how this is kind of bright coming down here? So I'm going to actually start by using my contour. So my contour, you can use contour, you can use bronzer. If you're the person who likes bronzy, you're probably more in the warm tone category. Go ahead, use your bronzer, that's fine. I'm in the cool tones, and so I like to use a more, I don't want to say chalky, but that's kind of what it is. It's a little bit more of a chalky base, and I get that by using my contour. And if you think, well, how do you know about all these colors? That's the reason we do something called a color match. So if you send me a message and tell me that you want your colors done, you're just going to send me a photo without any makeup on in natural lighting, and I'm going to be able to come back and I'm going to tell you which colors would look the best on you. So you can see that this is giving me some dimension. Why? Because we have dimension on our skin normally. I've kind of removed some of that by putting an all-over color all over with the Riman cushion. But I'm going to keep a little bit because I like a little bit of shadow coming down here on my nose. And what that does is it actually brightens that center of my face. You see how the center of my face looks nice and bright right now? Okay, so that's all I'm going to do there. And I'm not even going to blend yet, okay? I am now going to go to what I would consider, well, maybe what you would consider as concealer, okay? I call it my brightening highlight. You can put this on with your finger, and put it on with a brush. I'll show you in a minute what brushes I use, because everybody always wants to know what brushes I'm using. So my brightening shade, I believe, is White Peach. And I want a little bit of brightness right there between my brows. Do you see instantly how I put that on? And then I tap it down my nose. You don't need a lot. Guys, the reason that this cream makeup works so well is because it simply just absorbs into your skin warms it up, and it ends up looking scrumptious, for lack of a better word. Okay, it really does. Now, in the Pilot brush, you have 2 extra brushes on the inside. These work beautifully when you're trying to do detail work around your eyes. All right, so I'm now just in that corner. I'm going to flick up here on the edge just to kind of blend it. I'm going to use the fat part of this brush, tap down my nose, and to tap those colors that are on my forehead and my chin. Now, I'm going to go in with this brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that brightening shade, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. So we tease about my dark trough, but right here it is, right there. The dark trough is the only thing that I need to treat. Now, we can get to more basics on the dark trough. We can get to discovering what color that is underneath and maybe color correcting. But I'm going to be honest with you, on a daily basis, I'm not doing that. I've done the work scene before where I always made sure that my makeup was impeccable. I'm not going to all of that. All I want to do is look good, even if the only thing I see is my male person. Seriously. You think I'm joking. I'm not joking. All right, now that I've got my brush in my hand, I'm just going to tap that along my hairline because I want to make sure that I've put that contour into my hair. Now I'm ready for some blush. I'm ready for a little bit of color, a little bit of pizzazz. I have been crushing, absolutely crushing on this color. I'm going to show it to you here in a minute. It's called Huckleberry. This has been my winter go-to. So good. And you can put it on with your finger. You can put it on with a lip brush. You can line your lips. I'm just showing you what I normally do on a daily basis. So I'm normally going to go right up there on the top of that warm color, that darker color that I put on my cheeks. I do like to use Sunshine State over the top of it. Right there, Sunshine State. And the reason on my lips is that Sunshine State has a little bit of glimmer. Okay, I'm going back to this brush. This is like an all-in-one brush, except for my eyes. Now, you can do your eyes with those little brushes on the inside. I just kind of like to keep them for my face products. So that's entirely up to you. So here's the way I'm doing my blush. I'm not wiping it all over. If you're trying to combine powdered blushes, cream products, liquid products, and it's not going, it's because they're just not mixing well. When you use all creams, they blend like butter. In my entire life, I could never get a bronzer to look good. It always looked like I fell into a terracotta pot. Seriously. I'd put it on. I could see exactly where I put it. I couldn't move it. That is not true about Saint's colors. They are going to blend beautifully. Now, I'm going to go back into that brightening shade. I'm going to put just a little bit more there on the tip of my nose, okay? And on a daily basis, you come knocking at my door, this is what you're going to see. Well, I got to put some mascara on, but this is what you're going to see. I'm not out at my age trying to look like I am in my 20s, 30s. Heck, I'm not even trying to look like I'm in my 50s. I just want the best version of me. I know at this age, the best version of me is not going to show through if I don't have a good skincare. I've learned that by going the whole retinol rat hole and finding out that the skin barrier was compromised and that I didn't have any moisture left. That's the reason it was dry and patchy. And I thought I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing. I mean, gosh, every infomercial that I saw talked about how everything was loaded with retinol. So I figured we must be supposed to use it. Well, guess what? That's when I discovered Korean skincare and realized what it can do for me. There you go. That is the simplest makeup application you have ever seen with the littlest product. So when you come up close and you look at me, you're not going to see makeup. That's what I don't want. As a finishing step, I do take my setting spray. I have to be careful because I just put my mascara on and it's not waterproof. By the way, this is Thrive Tubing Mascara. Totally love it. Have used Thrive for years. Saint does have a tubing mascara, but I will honestly tell you, I pull out that tube more than anything else because I just love that, okay? Now, I'm going to let that spray that I put on, the setting spray, I'm going to let that set for just a smidge. Is that such a word, smidge? I don't know, but I use it a lot. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. And then I am going to come back with my favorite makeup sponge, and this is called Stands Out. It's different. It's like memory foam, but the best part about it is that it doesn't have to be wet. I mean, all of your other makeup sponges should be barely damp when you're using them. And all I'm going to do is I especially do this underneath my eyes to make sure if there's any excess, but it's just a really light pressing of that setting spray into the skin and totally setting this look so that I don't have to do anything else. That's about as easy as it gets. And when I tell you that those are my steps, those are my steps. In less than 5 minutes, I can be outdoor ready. When Bruce was living on Saturday mornings, we would go for coffee. That was our date. Every week, we would always go to our local Panera for coffee. And he knew he'd have to give me time because I was going to have to get my face on because Lord knows nobody could see me without my makeup. And now, trust me, if he'd still be here, I could be ready in 5 minutes or less because this is how easy it gets. Again, being in my age group, I am not trying to be anything that I'm not. I am not trying to make it look like I've turned back the clock. The wrinkles are going to be there. And if I don't want to have anything else done, which I haven't ever had anything done other than a facial, I think I've had 2 facials in my lifetime. If I don't want to have anything else done in the way of like treatment or anything like that, then I can get everything I need by simply using the Riman skincare, teaming it up with my Saint products, the Saint that I have used for over 4 years, and just feeling comfortable in my skin. And that's what I'm doing. So 2026 is a year of rebirth for me. I'm focused on my health. I am focused on, losing weight, slimming down, getting more active, because I've had some issues with sciatic pain. And I know that when I don't move, that doesn't help the sciatic pain. So I'm just focused on me. I'm not focused on adding to. I'm using a simple, very simple skincare routine and an even simpler makeup routine. And I can end up just looking a little bit fresh and ready for the day. So if this video appeals to you, and if you think that's the way I want to go into the aging process, and you might need some help either with colors or with your skincare, just comment below. I will send you either a color match form or a skincare questionnaire, depending on which way you want to go. And if you want to talk about both lines, just let me know that in the comments below too, and I will send you a message and we will get you on board. Let me tell you, you will not look back. You are going to be so happy with the changes that are about to take place with your skin. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it so much. My name's Kathy. Click and follow for more information. Bye-bye.